The world is in turmoil. The world is in chaos. So the world is very brittle, there is very anxious, there is very incomprehensive. So the world is like that. And that has been nothing new for us actually. Buddha says that the world is, everything is impermanent. So the once is impermanent, and that aspect of nature of impermanent itself make us suffer, make us doesn't like it, because we want to have that permanency. And which is permanency is not possible at all. So once we understand, once we are able to understand the nature of the world itself, then we will able to understand all this phenomena which is happening. The COVID, of course, it is one of the disease, came out of, I don't know, based on our humans' behavior, the way how we live, kind of a natural, came out by nature itself, we don't know, but we have a lot of study still going on that. But whatever the phenomena we are facing at the moment, it is making us very, very troublesome, because it is not going as we want to. So there is nothing in this world which can you think that it will go according to yourself, according to your wish. For example, this is my hand, and then this is my finger. Okay, I call this is my finger. But if this is my finger, I should able to hold like this if I wanted for 1 hour. But is that possible? So I said that I want to live like this for 1 hour. But in reality, maybe 5 minutes I'll get tired and then I can't. It is, even I myself cannot control my own body, what you call my body, there's no such thing. So it is always constant changing. So once you understand the nature of constant changing, then the whole idea is that the wisdom, what you need is that how do you survive in that nature of changing. Buddha gave a very simple example, I guess, that is similar to if we put in the modern context. It is that we are in the surfing in the sea. If you have all the big and small waves, is always coming all the time. But if you have good surfer, with the surf, you are able to hold yourself. You don't care how high the surfing is, the wave is, how small the wave is, but you are still handle yourself. And that is all about the Dharma, you see. So the world is always there. And that COVID, for example, one of the very important aspect of COVID I could remember from the Buddha's teaching is that the Buddha says that there is a two Dharma which can protect this world, which can protect this world. And then what are those two Dharma? He said that the Hiri, in Pali, Hiri means self-respect, self-responsibility. Then Ottappa means that social respect or social responsibility. So if you know these two Dharma, as a two Dharma, Buddha also said these are the Dharma which make you angel, which make you a Devata, which make you a God actually. And from Buddha's point of view, the divineness is actually these two quality you can develop by yourself. Is that taking your self-responsibility as well as taking the other's responsibility, social responsibility. What does it mean? Let's say self-responsibility. You do whatever you want to do, you do based on taking your responsibility. If you are thinking that it's giving you a trouble, then you should avoid that. If you are giving you a pain, you should avoid that. But at the same time, if it is giving, your action is giving some pain and suffering to others, take the other responsibility as well. So these two Dhamma is something which can be, if you understand and practice seriously, the COVID is not a problem at all. And even in some other discourses, Buddha even says that we have to be, distanced for some time, because having a closing all the time, it will really become convenient for what we call the social chat. And social chat and this and that, it will destroy your mental peace and happiness. So if you really want to be peaceful, you should know when it is to be a social distance, physical distance. You have all those in the 2,500 years discourses in the Pali. So if you look at that, the word COVID, even these days, is a new phenomenon, but actually we have the solutions which can fit for the COVID. And same as any kind of a problem, global crisis which is happening, And if you look at the nature of it, it is a become problem because you are the problem. Because not the global problem. Because COVID is a problem, because COVID become a problem, but you are there at the time. If you are not there during the where the COVID is spreading, then COVID is another your problem. So whole idea, the way Buddhist way of looking at it is that look at yourself, and then where are you? Where you are locating yourself? If you are locating in the middle of the problem, you become the part of the problem. But if you know you are in the middle of the problem, but if you know yourself, you might jump out of the problem, looking from the outside, and then look at the outsider as an outsider. And if you look at the outsider, it will be something just like watching the football or watching the boxing. And when we watch the football, I say, go on, why you don't kick that way? You as a watcher, you watch, you can see that. But if you are a player, do you able to do that? Same as a boxing, punch that, punch this. But if you are the boxer, you wouldn't able to see that. So Buddhist way of looking is that distance yourself, and then detach everything from what is going on. Once you are detached, you'll be able to see that. This morning I just posted on my Facebook saying that to have a selfish ego is just like having a dust in your eyes. And once you have dust in the eye, you can't see things clearly. So the whole thing is that if you want to see things clearly, just take that dust out, clear that dust out. So if you want to see the world clearly, clear your ego out, and then you will see the others, you will see the world. So this is all about the problem is going on. It's a normal, but it's become abnormal because you have become one of that. But if you are trying to detach yourself from that and then see as an observer, and you will see how to solve that problem.